guys, welcome back to the Jennbug Handmade Podcast. I'm Jen. I'm also Knittin' Jen on Ravelry. I'm on Instagram as Jennbug Handmade, and you can also find me on my website, jennbughandmade.com. So, welcome back. I wanted to first off say thank you so much to everyone who watched my first podcast video and who subscribed and commented. That meant the world to see, and it was just really sweet to see, some really sweet words of encouragement after putting myself out there with my knitting and my nerdiness. So I appreciate you, and it meant so much. And if you like my podcast today, I hope you'll like and subscribe so that way I can keep making some sweet content for you guys. So anyways, let's get to some knitting. First thing I'm going to show you, and I showed you all this in the last podcast, but I actually blocked this and I added buttons. So obviously it's much more beautiful now. This is my Gathering Stripe sweater for my oldest boy, Bradley. I love these buttons. They match the stripes. And I will put a picture of him wearing it here also. So yeah, the bottom blocked out beautifully. I was a little worried about this because it seemed a little wonky, but that shit'll block right out. So that was very nice to see that it turned out well. Yeah. This yarn is so soft. Again, I'll tell you one more time. This is Dapper Dye Works in the Arizona Sky colorway, and the yarn is Sableton Fingering. And the dark navy, almost black, is Miss Babs Blackbird. And I believe it was her Cosmic Hand Paint color, or Cosmic Sock Base that I had. This was just a little ball in my stash, so love it. My little boy was thrilled and so excited to wear it. He's happy to have his red shirt. I just wanted to show you guys that. The other thing that I have finished is the Joelucal. And this is out of Knit Picks Bare Natural Super Soft Bulky. Lots of words there, right? I believe I got all the words. This turned out so great. I actually I think in the real pattern you repeat the lace 5 times. I did not have enough yarn, so I just stopped after that one. I had just enough yarn to make it 3 repeats, but I think it turned out beautifully. I'm gonna put it over this other cowl, right? I think it really turned out beautifully, and it's definitely warm, super cozy, and super squishy to wear under a coat. This was such a fun, quick lace knit. I love when you just have a quick, bulky lace knit. Just a lot of fun. I don't know. What about you guys? You guys like those type of knits? But it's a little blown out, but this is a gift from my sister-in-law, and I really think she's gonna love it. We still haven't exchanged Christmas gifts. Side note, real quick here, take a little field trip. I actually got the second COVID vaccine Monday, which would be 4 days ago now, and all I had was a sore arm, so I don't know if I just got lucky. I heard that the second vaccine is worse than the first vaccine. Some of my coworkers had a fever and chills for like less than 24 hours, and then they were fine. I didn't have any of that. I was maybe a little bit tired, and that's it, just like the first time. So it was great. I don't know if it's because I've just been prophylactically taking magnesium, zinc, vitamin D, and those kind of things, and vitamin C, because those can help decrease symptoms, I heard. So, we've been prophylactically taking them since the beginning of all this. I don't know, but I was really, really blessed to be able to be one of the first people to get the vaccine. I actually got both of my shots on the same day as the president-elect Joe Biden, so I thought that was pretty cool. Both of my shots I got on the exact same days as him, so fun fact for you guys. But anyways, yes, very blessed and very glad I didn't have any side effects, just, in case y'all were wondering. So next thing that I finished is I cast this quick hat on for a friend at work. Also a late Christmas present because, Christmas can just be whenever you want it to after the year that we've had, right? It can just be whenever you want it. I'm also going to cast on a hat for her husband. I'm not quite sure what pattern I'm going to use yet, but this here is the Chai Latte beanie. And this is out of the Freya Fibers gradient. It's like a bulky single ply. I love it. I guess I can put it on. I'm having a good hair day, but. So I wasn't sure about the pom-pom, but I kind of love it. It's kind of out of control. Kind of looks like Carrot Top or something, you know? I don't know. But I'm kind of digging it, but I'm not sure. It's a little out of control. I keep changing my mind on it, so I'm not sure. What do you guys think? Should I take this insane single ply pom-pom I made off and put like a natural color on there? Something like this? Or should I leave it? Should I let it be wild? Let me know. Let me know what you think, because I'm not sure. But this was a really, really fun, easy, quick cable pattern. I knit this in like a couple hours, I think, the other night. Just sitting, watching a show with my husband and my kids. So that's a lot of fun. Yeah, let me know what you guys think about the pom-pom. Leave a comment and I'll take your advice on it. We'll see. See if the Carrot Top lives. Anyways, there's that. There's like fiber flying around now from where I snipped all the ends on this ridiculous pom-pom. Okay. Something else that I haven't shown you guys before. I finished these more recently. They're jelly roll socks, actually. Believe it or not. Let's get that lighting right. There we go. There we go. So these are little shorty socks. I actually didn't even do whatever rolly cast on that they recommended because I do like a little ribbed cuff. But these are my little shorty socks. Here's the other one, just so you know that I knit it. These were a lot of fun to knit. And this yarn was left over from a sweater I knit. This is Hedgehog Fibers Teacup. And the pink is also like the cord knit from Hedgehog Fibers, but I can't remember exactly what the pink was called. But I love me some neon pink. This is one of my most favorite yarn colorways ever. It's just so pretty. And it's called Teacup, and who doesn't love tea? I mean, because I do. Tea and coffee, y'all. And then there's the other sock. So it's funny because I don't know what I did because I knit these like literally I didn't knit on these for like over a year because, you know, that's how I roll. And then I just picked it up and finished it in like one day, you know. But I somehow made them the gusset or heel flap or something. They're two different lengths. You can't really see it, but one is a different length than the other. This one's a little bit bigger, but I don't care. It's fine. My socks are still cute, and they match my neon pink Crocs. So, Crocs and socks, y'all, on Fox. And there's that. Next up, I'm going to show you another sock that I've been working on. I finished one sock, and I will be hopefully finishing the other one soon. I am on the foot part of it. This is Lollipop Yarns, and I don't remember the exact colorway. I want to say it was Proud as a Peacock. I might be making that up, but I'm pretty sure that was the colorway name. Look how pretty. Here's the second one I'll show you. Here's the ball. I love how hers come in little gobstopper balls. Beautiful. And then here's my second one. I've already turned the heel, and I'm working on the foot. Yeah, this is such a fun, pretty colorway. I think it's like, it came out around Thanksgiving one it came out around Thanksgiving one year, I think I bought it. I don't remember for sure, but oh my goodness. And this yarn, this is her traditional base, and it's a 4-ply sock yarn, which I have now realized that I love and might be like the new essential to my sock knitting, right? Look at this purple. That's my favorite part. Anyways, so yeah, and here's why I'll say that. I just finished these socks as well a little while ago, and I love the tweed on these. I love the colorway. I'm pretty sure this is a Homespun house yarn. So I love all of that, but I wore these. Look how pretty. Look how pretty, y'all. There's a hair on there. So I love these so much, right? I love the tweed. This is the Hermione's Everyday Sock pattern, by the way, which was so fun to knit. I enjoyed everything about these socks. Well, listen here. There is a hole right there. And There's a hole in this one right here. This hole is worse. Yeah. This happened after wearing these socks one time. One time. So, clearly, I don't think that I can be a person who wears 2-ply sock yarn anymore. Sadly. Which stinks, because I definitely have some 2-ply sock yarn in my stash, but it'll just have to get turned into sweaters and shawls and things. But, yeah, very sad. So I'm gonna darn these. I actually have a pile of socks. This is my little basket of things to darn. And I keep this right inside of the door to my craft room. So I have some socks for my husband in here too. I think this is like Desert Vista Dye Works. I don't even know where there's a hole in this one. But yeah, these were some socks I did my husband a while ago. But these are in here. So there's something, oh yeah, there's a hole. It's thin on the bottom there. I'm gonna have to darn these, but I have a little sock darning basket that just lives on the inside of my craft room door. And so if, you know, my husband wants me to like fix a button on his pants, or, you know, he got a hole in his sock, he just throws it in there. Also, fun fact, my kids and my husband, they like, if they find like a button or something that they think like belongs to me, because if you find a button on the floor, obviously it's mine, right? Could be no one else's in the house. Couldn't have just fallen off of something. I don't know. I'll come in my craft room here and be on my sewing table. Like, they want me to fix something, stuffed animal, it'll be on my sewing table. It's funny. I'll come in and I'll find little surprises. Sometimes my son leaves me little, like, toy unicorns, which that's cute. He had some, like, bath bombs that had some unicorns in them, but it makes me laugh. I'll come in here and find surprises. One day I'll do a tour of my craft room for you guys. I really love it in here. It's my happy place. Yeah. But I think that the reason I got holes in the Homespun house socks was because this year, so I have been an Etsy shop owner. This past year, I opened a shop. So when the pandemic hit, I started sewing a bunch of masks for my coworkers and my local quilt shop. They helped me sew a bunch of masks, and it was really awesome. And then they were all like, hey, can you sew us some scrub hats? Because we work in labor and delivery, so we wear scrub hats anyways, because we have our own operating room for C-sections. So when you're in the operating room, you have to keep your hair up. You can't have it down, so you have to wear some kind of hat. And instead of wearing like the fun lunch lady, you know, hair nets, we usually wear like scrub hats. So I was like, well, let me see if I can make some. So then I started making scrub hats, and my coworkers bought them, and then other people started buying them, and so I quickly became like a legit Etsy shop owner. And let me tell y'all, that was the most work ever. It was more work than working full-time as a nurse right now in the pandemic. Like, I'm telling you, I mean, I don't work directly with COVID patients unless they are pregnant, which there have been. But yeah, it was a lot of work. I was sewing like 50 to 60 hats a week, and I was spending less time. I was home more because we took our kids out of daycare. So I was home more, but I was spending even less time with my kids. So I just want to tell you, all you Etsy shop owners out there are amazing people. So great, because the amount of work and time that goes into having an Etsy shop is just insane. So I have a newfound respect. I decided at the beginning of December to stop my shop because it just started to not be fun. Sometimes you're crafting, you know, when you decide to sell things and make things for other people for profit, it can quickly just become a burden. So, yeah, that was my 2020 endeavor. So this year I was like, hey, you know, instead of relaxing at home and chilling, doing what I need to do or whatever, I decided, let me just, you know, start a podcast, because clearly I can't sit still. Another thing I'll show you guys, I'm going to show you guys a couple of projects that I've already completed, just because, you know, you haven't seen the things I've made before, so I can show you whatever I want. Oh, actually, the first thing I'll show you is my sweater. So this is, oh look, y'all, I have purple pants, my orange, or pinkish orange, you know, we're just gonna do whatever we want. But this is my Oshima sweater. This is a pattern by Jared Flood. And He's from Brooklyn Tweed. It's a Brooklyn Tweed pattern. I love it. It's got this beautiful brioche top and cowl neck. I love a cowl neck so much. And this was knit in Miss Bab's Heartland, which was like a woolen spun Aran weight. I don't know if she still has this base. I think it might be discontinued now, which makes me so sad because it is so soft and so warm. So like this sweater is so great. It's so woolly. And I love this sweater because it fit me when I was skinny, and it fits me now that I've had 2 children pop out of this body, and it still fits me. So clearly, I mean, it's a little bit more cropped now. Okay, don't get me wrong. But I love the fact that it has been so versatile and something that I've been able to wear through, you know, multiple sizes. So it's a great sweater. And also, so I knit the sleeves on this really long for some reason. I think I added inches to it because I actually do have very long arms. I have like a long reach wingspan, whatever. So I usually just fold them up, and then I have these super duper like squishy cuffs. But I love this sweater. It's soft. I could live in it. I could nap in it. It makes me happy. Here is another sweater that I have knit, or shawl, in the past few years. And this is Mad Fusion by the Plucky Knitter. I don't remember the exact colors of this yarn, the colorway names, but I know that it's 2 yarns held together. I believe one of them is Sophisticate, I believe. Unless it's just held double. No, it's two different yarns. I'll put it in I'll put it right here. I'll put it right here so that you guys can know for sure. But also, everything that I knit is also on my Ravelry page. So if you're ever curious and I fail to mention something, I've tried really hard with my notes here, but if I fail to mention something, go check out my Ravelry page. If it's a brand new knit, it might not be up yet, but I'm working on it. So you just harass me and I'll put it on there because I'm very OCD and I like my Ravelry up to date, y'all. Anyways, so yeah, this is the Mad Fusion shawl. I love it because it's like really like shallow and wide. It's really fun. It's very scarf-like. So I'm gonna put this on over my other ridiculous cowl neck here. And yes, I love it because you can wear it like, you know, just like this, and it has tassels. So, you know, that's fun. So you can wear it just like this, or you can even wrap it even more, and then you can put it under your like big pea coat, and you're just like snuggled up in all the warmth. It's fantastic. This sucker has kept me kept me warm, you know, when it's gotten pretty cold here. It doesn't get that cold, I guess. I mean, we get below freezing sometimes, but it doesn't snow much here in this part of North Carolina. It's very sad. Very sad times. So yeah, I love this shawl. Nice and warm and super squishy. I love squishy. Also, I love gray. Okay, I'm a big person when it comes to like neon pink and bright, like those 80s vivid colors. I love speckles and I love glitter, but I also love me a good neutral. So good. It's so good, y'all. The next thing I'm going to show you is my very favorite shawl ever. It's probably my most worn shawl, my most beloved shawl. It makes me so happy. This was like one of my favorite projects to ever make. This is A Girl's Best Friend by Isabel Kramer. And I love it. This is knit out of the Plucky Knitter Oxford fingering. And I know that this color is called Feather Duster. Oh, I just remembered it. Feather Duster, I think the purple is Essie, and the pink is called like Meyer May. Beautiful. This is just like such a little, it's like fancy, but it's not fancy, which is totally my vibe. Like fancy lounge, fancy chic. I don't know, y'all. Oh my gosh. I love it. I love like the asymmetrical pom-poms. Everything about this is my favorite thing ever. The lace pattern is just so pretty. The yarn. I love this yarn too because it is so soft. I think this is a woolen spun yarn too, so it just blooms beautifully when you block it. It's like kind of like feels stiffish when you're knitting with it, but when you block it, oh my goodness, y'all, it blooms and it's so pretty. Somebody should count the number of times I say y'all, okay? Because it's a lot, y'all. Okay? Anyways, love it. This makes me happy. My most favorite shawl. So I'm gonna take that off before I die of a heat stroke or choke myself with lots of wool around my neck. All right. Next thing I'm gonna show you guys are some other things that I'm working on. I started the habitation throw. This is going to be a baby blanket for my little niece. My sister is pregnant with her second daughter. And I knit Sophie, my older niece, a blanket. So now this one will be for baby number 2 for her. So it's funny, she has 2 girls and I have 2 boys. But anyways, this is a pattern by, I think it's by Helen Stewart of Curious Handmade, and it's the habitation throw. And this is a lot of fun. This is like good potato chip knitting, y'all. Oh my goodness. And yeah, and it's knit up so fast. I'm already past the point of decreasing here, so that's pretty cool. So you increase up and then you start to decrease once you get about halfway. But this is a blanket that can be knit at any size. Like you just keep going until you're halfway done and then you start the decreases. So really fun project. I'll probably finish this soon. And this is the Sweet Georgia Advent set. I was gonna do the Advent, but I was finishing up Etsy orders at the time, and I, like, into early December, I was also busy knitting Christmas gifts and doing some other things, so I didn't. And then, I saw it on Instagram because I can't keep secrets. So I looked up the hashtag. So I just decided I was going to make a habitation throw for my little niece. But the colorways are beautiful in this Advent set. I really love them. And that is that. All right. And the next thing I'm going to show you guys, I haven't started this yet, but I will soon. This is going to be one of my make 9s this year, and I talked about this briefly the last podcast, but I'm going to make the Randall Fraser sweater from the Outlander knitting book, which I showed last time. Yeah, it's just this beautiful color sweater. I'll put a picture here so you can see it better. Yeah. So my mom bug, if you want to know what a mom bug is, she is a lady who adopts you as a teenager, calls you Jennbug, and teaches you how to knit because you're her daughter's best friend. So that's a mom bug. She's the reason I'm Jennbug. She spoils me still to this day with yarn and knitting nerdiness. So she sent me this yarn for the sweater because I told her I wanted to make the sweater, and then this yarn appeared. I love it. This is Plymouth Yarn Quaker Hill. I believe it's Quaker Hill. Yes, Quaker Hill. And it's a sport weight yarn. It's 50% alpaca and 50% wool, Highland wool, and it's beautiful. It's sport weight, so it's perfect. The pattern was sport weight. And the colorways are like natural, black, and taupe, I believe. Here's the natural, because let me see. Where's it at? Okay, well, the lighting clearly is not doing me any favors today, but this is, this is a natural white, y'all. Taupe and black. This is going to be just so beautiful. I cannot wait to knit this. And what's funny is I was reading in the pattern notes, it said to like not use the yarn with too much alpaca in it because it won't give you the same type of drape. But I don't care. I love the way alpaca drapes. I actually love alpaca. It doesn't bother me. I don't have any really sensitivities to natural fibers, so I'm very grateful for that because I love me some mohair and alpaca and all the soft and squishy things. And the possum. I made some possum gloves for my sister out of possum yarn. They were fingerless mitts. They were amazing, let me tell you. but I love all the woolly wools. So I think this is going to make a beautiful sweater. And this is the first thing I'm going to cast on from my Make 9 this year, you guys. And I'll talk about that here shortly. I have one more thing I want to show you, and then I'm going to talk about my Make 9, my Make 9 plans. So yeah, there's that yarn. So I will be casting this on. I already wound it. That's the hardest part for me, is winding up the yarn and getting the needles and the bag together. So I'll be starting this very soon. The next thing I want to show you guys, this is something else I want to work on this year. So I started knitting. Oh, also I have this in like a Madewell tote, just because, why not? And I use some Fringe Supply Co. canvas cleaner. They're not in business anymore, which is really sad because I have a few of their bags and I really love Fringe Supply Company. But, my heart is sad. But I used some of their canvas cleaner on this, and oh my gosh, it did such a good job. This thing was dirty, y'all, because I have 2 kids and I would tote around. This was like a diaper bag for a minute. It was dirty. That canvas cleaner worked amazing. I love throwing things in the washer, like, with, you know, that my kids touch. So I was shocked at how well it worked. It doesn't have any more stains on it, so that's cool. So that's going to house my sweater because, you know. Oh, and I'll also show you this I showed last time, my Ho-Hi & Co. Pampa bucket. That is what my habitation throw is living in. I love my Pampa bucket. I love all the, I have 3 Ho-Hi & Co. bags now, and I love them. I can't wait to get the extra large size of this and the extra large size of her hobo bag. Because, this real Argentine leather, y'all, you can't beat it. It's life. Anyways, moving on. This is another goal. This is just in a old plucky tote right now because I haven't been working on it. I started to make this pattern for my husband. It's called Sawyer, and it's another Brooklyn tweed sweater by Jared Flood. And it's got this beautiful, like, waffly, honeycomb looking stitch to it. But I'm gonna rip this out. I started this like a billion years ago. Okay, really, like, I started this thing like 5 years ago and I never finished it. This is all on it. I love my husband, okay? And I heard, though, there's a knitting curse that if you don't finish a sweater, or like if you do end up finishing a sweater for your spouse or your significant other, that you end up like getting divorced or separating. Have y'all heard that knitting curse? Like, is that a real thing? I don't know. But our love is true, y'all. So I am going to knit him a sweater this year. But I'm going to rip this out. This is Plucky Knitter Trusty. The yarn is Plucky Knitter Trusty in the Joe Banks colorway. And it's like a beautiful worsted Aran weight yarn. And I love it. It's really soft. It's one of those like really soft woolly yarns that I'm obsessed with, clearly. So I'm going to rip this out. And I'll put the pattern here. I can't remember what the pattern was, but I found a pattern and I'll put a picture here. And I'm going to knit this for him instead because I realized that he's not much of a like pullover person, more of a, you know, a hoodie. A hoodie kind of, you know, can take it off and on. So I thought that this cardigan would be a nice fit. I actually, you know, anything before I knit it for him, I'm like, would you wear this? Because I'm not wasting my time if you don't. Not that he's picky, but he's very plain with wardrobe choices. So I will be knitting him that. And he said that he would. He said that's not bad, which means that he would wear this one, this pattern here that I found. So I'm going to be making him that instead. And that is another goal of mine in 2021, is to finally finish his sweater. So let's talk about Make 9 this year. I'm going to do it this year for the first time. Now that I have my knitting mojo back, you know, I got my kids out of my body. So we're done having the babies, you know, unless anything crazy happens. But we done. Let me tell y'all, babies are a lot. All y'all moms out there know. And dads. All y'all moms and dads. They a lot of work. Especially during a pandemic when we literally go nowhere. Not even Target anymore. They a lot of work. So, anyways. Now that that's all done, I figure, you know, my knitting mojo's back. I really want to get it into the Make 9 for 2021. So, the first thing I already talked about, that'll be my Randall Fraser sweater. Super excited about that. I'll start that first. I also would like to knit the Wednesday sweater. This one is a pattern by Petite Knit, and it looks like, I think it's a bulky weight, but I'll put the picture here. I love just the big bulky sweater with the speckles. That's totally like my thing. I love pullovers. I love speckles. I mean, obviously you can knit it in whatever color yarn you want, but y'all know I'm gonna find some kind of big old speckled something that's, you know, pretty true to the pattern. So that is definitely on my to make list this year. Another pattern that I want to make is the Spark Cardigan by Andrea Mowry. I have already picked out what yarn I want in my brain, and I'll have to purchase it soon because I am excited. I'm actually going to use some Joelucal. She has a new yarn company, y'all. It's called High Country Wool, and it's all about those beautiful woolly wools that are natural from Highland sheep and stuff. So, you know, that's the technical word for things, right? It looks amazing. So I'm going to use some of that in one of her natural colorways for the base. And I'm going to get, you know, the spin cycle yarns for the color work, which is what it calls for. So I'm excited. I've got to find me some pink, y'all. Love me some pink. So that is on my to make list. And obviously it's by Andrea Mowry, who I've already confessed my love for on this podcast 2 episodes in. So yeah, that'll be beautiful. I also want to work on, I have yarn for this. I showed it to you last time, actually, as my stash enhancement, but I want to knit the Viante by Martina Bim. It's something that I've always wanted to knit, and I just haven't yet. I mean, I think, you know, as a newer knitter, I was overwhelmed with the amount of yardage that it took. I don't know. I was just like, oh, I'll never finish that. I will totally finish that, y'all. I'm going to do it this year. If I don't, I want y'all to hold me accountable. But this is Miss Babs Yearning. It's a heavy lace yarn. And this is Autumn Toad Lily is the colorway. And it is her SAF 2020 colorway. SAF stands for Southeastern Animal Fiber Fair. And I've actually been and met Miss Babs one time, and it was really, really cool. I was basically like really shy and excited, and I was like, I love your yarn. So yeah. But I love her yarns. Here's a fun fact. Her yarn is the very, very first indie dyed yarn that I ever bought. And I loved it ever since. So I will be making a Viante out of this. I cannot wait. I want to wear that sucker so bad. That's part of my goals. And that's really why I want to do this Make 9 this year. Because I really do want to knit more items that I can wear. And I love shawls and socks. Don't get me wrong. I love making shawls. They're so fun and addictive and just wonderful. But I want to make more sweaters because this is really like one of 2 of the wearable sweaters I've made. That's it. So I really need to get to knitting more sweaters because I'd really like to have more of a handmade wardrobe and buy a lot less from big box stores and fast fashion. And I'm not going to say that I'm going to 100% never, you know, buy a thing again because I know that's not true. But I really would like to reduce purchasing just for the sake of purchasing and more for the sake of needing things and, you know, making my own clothes. And I hopefully plan to sew a few things this year as well. So stay tuned. But anyways, back to my Make 9. And the next thing I want to work on this year is the Oxbow cardigan, also by Andrea Mowry. So I picked this pattern out because I was searching for something close to, yeah, I'm sure y'all have seen Anne with an E, right? I am obsessed. I love the show, and sad that there's not going to be another season. And the reason they're not going to have another season, it wasn't because it was bad, it was because the Canadian network that, you know, put it all together partnered with Netflix, and then they had a falling out, and so my favorite show, you know, became a victim of that. Sad times, y'all. Sad times. Maybe they'll bring back a movie or something. I don't know. But anyways, if you've watched Anne with an E, I think it's in season 2, Marilla has this big brown cardigan. And it's like a manly, beautiful brown cardigan. And the minute I saw it, I was like, holy cow, that is amazing. I am in love. And I just love it. I just love her cardigan. So I want to make a cardigan that was reminiscent of Marilla's big brown coat, basically. Knitted coat. So the Oxbow cardigan, I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, this is like perfect. You know, I can knit in brown. So I don't know which wool I'm going to use yet, or yarn, but I'm definitely going to knit it in a nice brown reminiscent colorway of that. So I'm super excited to knit that one too. I love cardigans. I love big cardigans, big sweaters. So fun stuff. The next thing I want to knit is Cowboys and Angels by Isabel Kramer. I actually love Isabel Kramer, her patterns. My girl's best friend was her pattern. I just think that her designs are fun but thoughtful. You know, there's something interesting about each one of them, just enough to like get you hooked. They're beautiful. And when I saw this shawl, I was like, oh yes, I am knitting that sucker. Faux show. So I will definitely be knitting Cowboys and Angels. I don't know which yarn yet. I think maybe like more of a tan neutrally type of yarn. I'm not sure. We'll see. But my goodness, is that shawl beautiful. I also want to knit this year Pressed Flowers. I know y'all have seen this on Ravelry if you're on Ravelry. This shawl is gorgeous. It's got flowers on it. I love floral. Like, what else could I say? What else could I say? Like, I was hooked the second I saw it. I fell in love. So I cannot wait to knit that one. I think I'll use, you know, I'll definitely use like a marl yarn for the floral part. But I haven't decided on colors yet. But it is absolutely on my must knit list. I cannot wait. It's going to be beautiful. Another shawl, another Andrea Mowry pattern, obviously. I want to knit the Satellite shawl. It just seems fun. I really like the, you know, the way the stripes run in it. And I think it has mohair in it too, which is got me hooked. So got me hooked in. When I saw it had mohair, I was like, that's it. I'm gonna knit that. And yeah, and you know, I love shawls where you can coordinate, and any knitting project where you can coordinate colors together. Like, that's so fun to me, just picking out colors that go together. So I'm gonna check that out, and it's gonna be really fun to see what I can put together for those colors. So stay posted on that one too. And the last thing I'm gonna knit for my Make 9 is Snowy Forest. And I came across this one, you know, it's just in the Ravelry top hot right now, and it's just beautiful. I love it. Like, what can I say? Another big squishy pullover sweater. It's beautiful. So that's going to be made this year too. Hopefully I get to make everything. We'll see. You know, things happen. There are also lots of other things I want to knit. I'm totally like an ADD knitter where I see all the things and I want to make them and cast them on. But I'm actually pretty monogamous sometimes with what I'm knitting. I'll knit like one sock, finish it, one sweater, finish it. Usually. Sometimes I'll have one or two things on the needle. Like one or two socks at a time, but I like to finish projects because I like to wear them. I do. I like to wear them. Okay, so another thing I'll talk to y'all about is some sewing. Not a lot of sewing, but a little bit. So one thing I'm going to do, I had a friend who I went to nursing school with reach out to me, and she just started a new job in the operating room where I work, and she's like, oh no, you closed your shop. I was going to get some scrub hats. And I was like, okay. I was like, I will sew you some scrub hats, even though I'm like so sick of sewing that I could just die because, y'all, I have some like sewing PTSD from that, I think, from owning my Etsy shop. But I love her as a friend and human. So I was like, I will make you some hats. So I'm going to make her some scrub hats. And I am going to make my cousin had some twins. Her and her wife had some baby twins, and they're getting pretty big now. I think they're like 8 or 9 months now, but they outgrew their baby pants that I had originally made for them. So she messaged me, was like, hey, do you have any like dinosaur fabric? I'd love to like, you know, get some pants from you for the twins. I said, oh, did you mean like dinosaurs in space? Because yeah, I have that. So she's like, oh my God, yes, I love that. That's perfect. So I'm going to make her twins some dinosaurs in space pants. Making sure the print was upright. How fun is that? I made my younger son pants out of this. They were like my favorite pants I made him. Making sure the print was upright. How fun is that? I made my younger son pants out of this. They were like my favorite pants I made him. He outgrew them. But I have plenty of this. I don't know why I bought so much of this. But anyways, I'm going to make I'll probably make him and my other son another pair of pants out of this because I have plenty, but love it. So I'll be making that for them. And I am also going to work on a baby nest for my sister. Peekaboo Patterns. If you're a sewer, Peekaboo Pattern Shop, just Google it. Or I'll put it in my show notes too. I'm OCD, y'all, a little bit, so my stuff's got to be as detailed as I can make it. If I ever forget something, just call me out, okay? But I'm going to make her a baby nest. I have this beautiful mermaid print left over from when I was making scrub hats. And this is a cotton, just a normal quilting cotton. It's the Spoonflower fabric, actually. But yeah, so she loves mermaids. Her baby shower's mermaids when I threw it for her. And she gonna get a baby nest for her little baby girl. There's like a coordinate to go with this that I might order too, but I'm gonna try to make her a baby nest and some baby biddies and baby things. Her baby's not due though until like March, so got a little time. Y'all know how fast that time goes. Last thing I'll talk to you about is I don't actually have stash enhancement because I'm post-Christmas and I'm trying to be real good, okay? Y'all know Christmas gets expensive, especially when you got 2 little babes, so trying to be good. But I'm going to show you some things that I already have in my stash because I do have a little stash. I've actually sold a lot of the yarn that I have hoarded over the years when I was pregnant because I wasn't knitting and, I wanted money to buy my kids like whatever, when you're a mom and you buy all the baby crap and then, well, mostly for baby 1 and then you're like, oh, you never use like a lot of it. Yeah. Anyway, so I sold a lot of the yarn, but I still have a good little stash here, and so I have some pretties in my stash. This sock yarn, and this dyer is maybe not somebody y'all have ever heard of, but she's local to where I grew up in Virginia, like an hour away, but she's Unplanned Peacock, and this is one of those skeins that has lived in my stash for a million years because I love it, and it's so pretty. And this is her peacock sock. Is that what it's called? Twinkle Twist. It's got stellina in it. I love this. And the colorway is actually called Tote. It's this pinky, taupey, brownish with sparkle. I don't know what this wants to be. It can't be socks because, first of all, it's a 2-ply yarn. And like I said, I clearly can't wear that. Well, I think it's this 2-ply. I'm not sure. It doesn't say, but it looks like 2-ply to me. And second of all, because I just need this, I need to wear this. I was looking, maybe I'll find some coordinates for this to make. Have y'all seen that striped sweater by Andrea Mowry? Yeah. Maybe this will become that with like a light pink and a brown. That'll be very pretty. We'll see. We'll see what coordinates I can come up for this. But I love this yarn. It's beautiful. And this guy has been living in my stash for a long, long, long time. It's like probably my oldest skein of yarn in my stash because I haven't brought myself to figure out what to knit with it yet because I love it so much. I know y'all probably have a skein like that, right? Living in your stash that you just can't, you have to find that perfect project for. This is another one of her yarns. This is peacock sock, merino and nylon. It doesn't say the percentage of each, but this one looks like it is actually more than 2-ply. It's very pretty. It's just pink and white, and I love these colors together, mixed up. Just a fun marled color. And this one might be socks. Who knows? Who knows what it wants to be? But these yarns are just so pretty and soft, so I wanted to show you those. This colorway is called Sea Urchin. She does have a website, so you can go check that out. She's super nice. I met her at some shows. And another thing I'll show you guys from my stash is some Joelucal, who is also, Nicola Joelucal is amazing. I love her yarn. I used to watch her podcast before she stopped podcasting. She's sweet. She is sweet. I will tell you what, she did some videos and tutorials about how to dye your own yarn. And I respect her so much for that because a lot of people are like, oh, it's such a secret and they don't want to share the craft of yarn dyeing and all that. It's actually a lot of work. So watching her videos gave me, because I'm a nerd and I want to know how yarn is dyed, it gave me a lot of respect for what indie yarn dyers do as well. They're amazing. That is a lot of work, so let's keep supporting them and buying their yarn. So yeah, this is the golden laced Wyandotte hen on her Phyllis sock base, which is, this is I think a 4-ply yarn, so I'll be very excited to make this into socks. This will probably be for a male in my life, either my husband or my brother from another mother. Yeah. And I love how there's little, you see the blips of blue in there right here. Oh, so pretty. I love her yarns. I love her backyard chicken collection. It's hilarious. It's great. And her Phyllis sock base is super squishy and soft, so those will make beautiful socks. So anyways, thank you guys for joining me today. I hope I didn't ramble too much. I really appreciate all y'all's support and for showing up. And if you want to go and check out my website. I'm on the interwebs. I am at jennbughandmade.com. I'm kind of starting a blog for new knitters and people who want to learn how to knit, you know, so we can share the craft. I'm sure a lot of you have gotten people who are like, oh, can you make me that? Do you sell your hand knits? Yada, yada, yada. You know, people who like know you but don't understand yarn at all and knitting. So my blog is to help my coworkers, my friends, people who've always told me they wanted to learn how to knit, but they just, you know, have no idea where to start. So I wanted to kind of make a place for them to go to get more information. So check it out and let me know what you guys think, because y'all are experienced knitters. I don't have a ton of content yet, but I am working hard and writing hard. I've been enjoying creating this blog, this YouTube channel this year. So definitely part of my 2021 goals. And it makes me really happy and really, it's been really fun. So check it out. Let me know what you think. If you liked my podcast today, please like and subscribe. It helps me out on YouTube. And yeah, thanks for joining me again. Y'all take care.